Hey, happy babes and vixens. Lauren here. I am one of the co-founders of the Happiness Retreat and Wellness Vixen, and I'm coming at you with another blog post for Happiness Retreat. It's February 1st, so welcome to February. I want to walk you through some scenarios of maybe where you're at right now, how you're feeling about 2017 so far, and I want to introduce you to a couple really juicy topics that I think could help kind of catapult you into a new light, if you will. So for those of you who know me, know that I'm a health and happiness coach, and I also am a goal and development coach. So goal setting and goal work is where I get super nerdy. And I just wanted to share some really useful information with you today because I love you. So let's talk about February, right? And these three scenarios. So first scenario is that you came out the gate of January guns a-blazing, and you were absolutely ready to rock and roll. You set goals, and at the end of February, you were in integrity, and you did what you said you were going to do, and you maybe lost some weight, and you joined a new gym, and you started working on your new business, and so you're just feeling like on top of the world, and you're like, I can't wait for February. What's it going to bring? Like, what can I stack up for my goals for February? Yay, you. Good job, because that is freaking amazing. So scenario 2 is the opposite end of that, where, you had some intentions in January. Maybe you set some resolutions or didn't set goals or resolutions at all and found yourself not doing what you said you were going to do and not being in integrity with yourself, breaking agreements with yourself. Not taking care of yourself the way that you wanted to. So we're talking about self-care and exercise and sleep, and maybe this stuff just kind of didn't happen. Maybe you got sick for a couple weeks. Maybe you got the flu. Maybe, you had a family issue come up. And so your thoughts and plans and all of your why and your motivation behind, January and the new year just kind of dwindled down because it wasn't a priority anymore. So scenario 2, this is okay. Please promise me you're not beating yourself up right now. We just need to shift, and we just need to set some new goals, and the Happiness Retreat is going to teach you everything you need to know. Also, if you're just feeling so lost and so helpless right now, like I can't even stand the thought of one of you feeling like that right now, my email is lauren@wellnessvixen.com. Like, no kidding. We can work together, and I won't even charge you a dime. So hit me up. Okay. Scenario 3 is if you're somewhere in the middle. And I think that's where I fall right now, where I set some killer goals. I accomplished some killer goals. There are a few things that I didn't make as much headway on as I would have, as I kind of wanted to. But overall, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really fired up about February. And I know that I've got some work to do if I'm going to keep those agreements with myself. And let me just make a side note here. Like, do you ever realize how much easier it is to keep an agreement with someone else rather than yourself? And I read a book called The Well Life. Thank you, Sally, for that gift. And in the book, they talk about agreements with someone else versus you, and how easy it is for us to kind of scooch away an agreement that we've made with ourselves and that we've broken. So I said I was going to go for a run today and I didn't go on a run, whatever, right? And so what happens is after that happens, habitually and over time, our relationship with ourselves tends to break down, right? Like that level of trust and that level of I do what I say I'm going to do and being in integrity, it starts to crumble. And honestly, like just as if you had a friend that you were like, let's hang out, and then you bailed, and then you bailed, and then you bailed, and then you bailed, like they're probably not going to be your friends anymore because you can't be counted on. And believe it or not, deep down, there is this notion kind of inside of us that, keeping agreements to ourselves, with ourselves needs to be held at a very high level. End tangent. Don't discount agreements with yourself. It can end up doing a lot of damage in the long run. So a couple things you can do before we move on is be very clear about the agreement that you've made with yourself and what's the intention behind it. So if I say I'm going to go for a run And I tend to wiggle on my running a little bit. Like, is my intention behind that to run so I feel better? Or is it to run so that I, reach a heart rate where it will help me lose weight? And how long is that going to take me to get there? And, what does my heart rate need to be at? Or how long do I need to run to actually feel better and to clear my head? So getting very, very specific. I'm talking like time and place and who's involved, and getting very, very specific with the agreements with yourself instead of just saying, I'm going to go for a run today. So where it's just not as powerful is like, I will run to the top of Gibraltar Mountain with my friend Haley on Tuesday. All right, let's move on. I just really, I get nerdy on that. Okay, so we're at the third scenario, which is somewhere in between. And I believe that the key to happiness might be in the celebration of goals. So backtracking just a touch, if you have any goals that you have accomplished or anything that you just kicked butt at during January, promise me that you will do something really nice for yourself. Yes, I am talking bubble bath. Yes, I'm talking about a new pair of rainbow flip-flops. And yes, I'm talking about getting a damn facial. Because you deserve it. And how often do we set a goal and we accomplish a goal and then we're like, oh God, on to the next one. Like, I have so many things to do. And like, okay, yeah, I accomplished that. Good job. But really, what if you're missing out on that sweetest moment, on that moment that is the key to happiness, by ignoring the time to celebrate? I'll leave you with that. All right, so those are kind of the three scenarios of where people tend to be at on February 1st. And what I teach my clients and what I want to teach you guys is, and please don't take this the wrong way. This is not me saying that you don't have information in your mind. Let's just hear me out. So what if I told you that I think that you're doing the absolute best that you can with the knowledge that you currently have? So that means that I believe that you're putting an effort to live a happier and healthier lifestyle and to make shifts and to get yourself out of gutters or ruts and to kind of remedy things that are out of balance. Like, I believe that you're doing your best. And you should believe that too, because there is a very real possibility that you are working within a scope of knowledge, like you've been taught X by this book, and you listened to this lecture, and you learned about this in school, and your mom has been through this, so you know that that's what you need to do. So this is your scope of knowledge, and you are working to rectify imbalances and set goals, and you're kind of like going through life with this certain scope of knowledge. And I would say that what if you're doing the best that you can with the amount of knowledge that you have in said avenue of life? So that said, it's basically just a big push at the end of the day to consistently develop yourself. And, if there is an imbalance, let's say that you hate your job, right? And it's toxic, right? It's killing you, but you need it because you have to put food on the table. You have to eat. Like, of course, you live in Santa Barbara. It's like your job is probably like mine was. It's like basically living below the poverty line because of how expensive it is here. And we just are, we're trapped. And I would say also, like, this has probably been happening for a while for you. Like, you've been working this job and you've been feeling trapped and you want out. And you don't know how. That's the key. You don't know how. We don't have the resources yet. So I'm going to introduce you to the ever cheesy and so wonderful thing that I love. And it is called the tool belt of happiness, or the tool belt of life, if you will. So let's pretend that everyone on this planet is walking around with a tool belt around their waist. So I would encourage you to decorate your tool belt with glitter and with ribbons, and you can put a rainbow unicorn tail on the back of yours. I digress. Let's just pretend that everyone has a tool belt, okay? And the tool belt is what helps us navigate life's ebbs and flows. And let's just say our scenario X's, right? Where we have scenario X that comes into our life and it just throws all of our shit up in the air, right? And we're like, that changed everything, game changer, now what? So the tool belt is designed to help you through life, okay? So we've all probably been working with the same tools that we've put in there a few years ago. And that's not saying that we're not doing any personal development, but I'm just saying that, like, we've probably been working with the same tools for a while. Like, when's the last time you had a transformative experience around your tool belt? I don't know if you have, but we're going to work on that. So I would argue that it's very important for you to have sharp tools and shiny tools and well cared for tools and new tools altogether. I think that you should go shopping for new tools all the time. I think that you should spend time putting mineral oil on the wood handles of your hammer and your axe, and I think that you should spend time sharpening your blades, and I think that you need to sharpen the heads of your screwdriver? Okay, we're getting metaphorically off track here, okay? Let's back it up a little. So I think that we should all have sharp, fresh, shiny tools in our tool belt. Because let's say scenario X happens and throws all of our shit up in the air, and all that matters at that time is how we deal with it, right? It's all about what tool can I pull out of my tool belt and say, I know how to fix this. Here's my shiny hammer. And so I just wonder a lot of time, like when we are feeling so out of balance and so stuck and so like, I just feel like I can't quit this job because I need to eat and pay my rent. Like, that is the definition of stuck. And I just wonder, when is the last time that we've really spent some time and some energy on learning more about that area of life and learning how to elevate it? Another example, and it's been almost 12 minutes, I'm going to keep this pretty short from here. But another scenario is, let's say that you are in a toxic relationship with someone in your family or a spouse, right? When was the last time that you considered maybe that you could be showing up for that person in a different way? Maybe there's something that they're not getting from your relationship, and that's why they're acting out at you the way that they are and causing this turmoil. And so I would say, it's time to learn about how we can control how we show up for people to remedy something that's out of balance, like a toxic relationship. So we're going to learn so much at the Happiness Retreat. Bringing the metaphor full circle, we are going to fill up your tool belt so that you can handle life. And not only handle, I'm talking about there is an imbalance or a problem. I have the tool to fix it, and therefore I have lightness and happiness in my life. Last example I'm going to give. Let's say that your house is out of order, it's cluttered, and there's an area that, just kind of bugs you all the time. It's hard for you to get work because you're like, oh, I totally need to clean my linen closet. We're going to give you the tools. We're going to work on some feng shui and decluttering and moving energy in your home, and think about how it's going to feel when you are at home and you're in this clean, clutter-free environment. Like, that's happiness, right? And the goal of the Happiness Retreat is to empower you with all of the tools and all of these life scenarios so that you can handle them and create happiness out of them. So there you have it. That's kind of a very long and metaphorically dense way to describe what's going on at the Happiness Retreat and kind of what I do in terms of goals and development. And like I said, I'm here to help. If there's anyone watching this right now that's like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I need help right now, please, please, please. I live to serve. So tickets are selling out. And we are nearing the 30-day mark, as I mentioned earlier in the video. And I just think that if you've made it this far through this video and you've stayed interested, I think you need to be there. We have over 20 women that are experts in their respective fields, and they're coming to teach us how to fill our tool belt. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and I can't wait to see you at the Happiness Retreat.